Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So it's been a little bit since I've done a live video or a video for that matter. Um, but I did enjoy my time off, and it was very nice to just spend some time doing something outside of cards. So today we are going to kind of jump back in, and we are going to look at the paper pumpkin kit for this month. So if you have the kit, it is called Sweeter with You, and this one is a really cute one. Of course, I do like most of them, so but I do like the strawberries. So it's everything strawberry theme. And the kit came with everything that you needed to make 8 cards. So it's two of each of the 4 different designs. So we're going to look at some alternate ways to use the kit today. And I'll show you the stamp set right away. So these are the images that came in the stamp set. So I really like that there's a strawberry image in there because you can create additional cards. So I'll show you what I did with that. And then there was also an add-on die set called Circle of Season dies. So I did use this die set. Actually, I just used the hello out of here, but there's a little strawberry in there, circle shape, and other things that you can use. Now, this particular die set coordinates with the next couple of kits that are coming out, so you don't have to just use it for this kit. You'll be able to use it for the other ones as well. So, all right, so let's take a look at the alternatives. These are the cards that I'm going to walk you through today. So I'll just set these aside. I believe I have about 10 different alternate designs that I'll share with you. But I do want to share just the kit cards because I like to put together cards for the kit, just one of each, and then use the rest of the supplies to create some alternate designs. So that's what I have done with these. So the kit came with coordinating envelopes. So there's 8 envelopes. They all have this little green flap on it. So usually I cut up the envelopes and make some cards, but I didn't do that this time. So these are the cards that you can create with the kit, and the cards are really cute just as they are. So I had a lot of fun with this kit. I don't know, I just like the strawberries and the colors that are in the kit. So that's what the 4 cards look like. So let's get into creating some alternate designs, and then I will show you. Let's do this one first, and then I'll show you the rest of the alternate designs that I created. So let's switch this up here. There we go. So we'll look at this one first. What I like to do, as you probably know if you've been following me for a while, I like to take the card bases that are in the kit. So I'm going to grab one of these here. And I like to cut them up. So let's just look at this one. So this was one of the card bases in the kit. So when you create the kit cards, the card base has the pretty much the same design on the front and the back. So I always cut mine up. So instead of having this on the back, because this is typically how the card base would look, instead of having that on the back, I cut my card bases right in half on the score lines. So I don't fold them, I just cut them in half. And then I'm able to use the card base as designer paper or as pattern paper. So that's what I did. So these 3 pieces here are all cut from the card bases that came in the kit. So they are all 4 inches long, and this one is 1 by 4, this is 1.5 by 4, and this is 1.5 by 4. So it's a pretty simple pattern, panel card design. I got to get back in the swing of things, guys. So that's what we're going to put together. So you can make a few of these if you wanted, if you liked this particular design, because you have lots of different pieces. If you cut apart the card bases, you have lots of little pattern paper pieces that you can use. But if you don't have the kit, of course, you can use this layout with whatever supplies you have on hand. So basically what I like to do is just kind of lay out my design before I glue it down. But I'm just going to actually burnish this a little bit more so it lays flat. And so these pieces are just going to go right across the center of the card base. So I'm just using white cardstock for the base of my card. And we're going to adhere them directly against the edge. So the two outer pieces are going to go directly against the edge of this card base. So we'll adhere this one first. And then let's make sure. Oh, and I bumped it. Let's make sure that it's against the edge, and then we'll adhere this middle piece. So I just start on one side and then just go across, and I try to keep my pieces together here so I know how much space to leave in between. But you're basically just going to leave a little bit of white space in between each of these pieces. And then we'll add this one. So that's the basic layout. And like I said, if you don't have the kit, you can use this layout with any of your pattern papers. It's a really nice, quick and simple layout. All right, so let's move this out of the way. I gotta stamp a couple things here. And I might have lost my flower already. See, first day back from vacation and I'm already losing it. All right, so in this particular kit, we had a little garden green ink spot. So I'm just going to use my regular garden green ink here. And we're just going to add our greeting. This shape came from the kit, so I'm just using it a different way. We'll just add our greeting kind of off to the side a little bit. And then we will add our little elements here. Oh, I found my flower. That's good. Found it. So these little strawberries came from the kit, but actually if you've used all your strawberries, you can just stamp a strawberry. So you don't necessarily have to have the kit strawberry because the stamp set came with a little strawberry. So, all right, let's put this on here. All right, so that is going to go on our card front. And then once you use up all these little circle shapes, because there's only 2 in the kit, then you can, you know, create your own little circle shapes and use this design over and over again. So here is my flower. This is the one I thought I lost, but I found it. And so this little flower came from the kit too. So that's pretty much all there is to this card. And I just added some of these little gems. I forgot what they're called, the strawberry slush ones. Ah, so you can add any kind of gems you want, but I just add some of these because I thought they went well with the strawberries. So we'll add this. Oh, I have embellishments flying all over the place here. Oh, good grief. Maybe I can get this off my finger. Well, we'll just drop it on there. There we go. Okay. So that's basically what this card design looks like. And then you can actually use like this little strawberry image that comes, this little stamp set. You can actually use that to decorate the inside of your card, or you can use some of the designer paper. I don't think I decorated the insides yet. Hope I didn't. So, all right. So that is the first card design. And then the second one that I wanted to share with you is kind of a white on white card design. So I don't know if you can see, I have a little smaller piece of white cardstock adhered to this card base, the white card base. So I'm going to show you how I did this. We're going to do a little bit of stamping here. And I again have an embellishment. All right. So I got all my little pieces. I have a white card base, and then I have a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of white cardstock. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to use this blue piece from the kit. So if you want to know how big this piece is, it's about 3 1/8 by 1 3/4 inches. So 3 1/8, 1 3/4 inches. And so this is going to be right about here is where I want it on this piece of white cardstock. But I want to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to use some Pool Party ink, and we're going to add some flowers kind of above and below this piece. So I'm just going to move this piece up a little bit, and we'll just add some flowers kind of down here. And we'll add some off to the side. And then this will actually come back down, so I want it to overlap just a little bit with my stamping of my flowers. So then we're going to do the same thing up at the top. We'll just stamp a couple things here. All right, so that's going to be our basic design. And you can add as many flowers as you want, but we'll just kind of go with this. And let's adhere this right to our white cardstock. So this will just go right in the middle here. And we'll remove this scrap piece of paper. All right, so let's put this on our card base. So I like the look of white on white. So that's why I chose this, but you could easily choose a colored piece of cardstock for your background. So whatever you prefer. And let's bring this one back. So that's what it's going to look like. So then I used some of the larger strawberry pieces from the kit. So, so if you're wondering where I got those from, I'll show you the original card. Let me just grab it here. So this was one of the kit cards, and there was this big strawberry vine. And these there's little strawberries that actually go on the top of these, but I didn't do that. I saved all the little strawberries so I could make alternate designs. So so that's what I did. That's where I'm getting all these from. Let's actually put this one on first. I was going to glue them together, but let's just do this. So we'll put this off to the side. And then we'll put this other one on. So you can use all those little strawberries to make some alternate card designs. Let's go probably about here maybe. And then I used that die set. So for this particular card, I used the Circle of Seasons dies. So I used this hello to create this little hello. And basically what I did is I cut the hello out of a piece of white cardstock, and then I glued it onto a piece of black cardstock and just cut around it. So that's all I did to create this hello. And this is going to go right on the card. So I'll put this right about there. All right, and then we can embellish. So let's add some of these lighter colored gems. So add some down here. And then we'll just kind of fill in the space here. Excuse me. All right, so that's the basic design. How simple is that? So it's a fun way to use up those little strawberries that are in the kit and create just a very kind of clean and simple card. So, all right, so that is card number 2. And then this third card idea that I want to share with you just features just a fun way to use the stamp set that is in this particular kit. So I'm going to bring back some scrap paper here, and we're going to start with a 5 by 3 3/4 inch piece of white cardstock. And I'm going to use Real Red, Garden Green, and Pool Party. So we're going to start by just stamping this strawberry all over our cardstock here. And so it's really just going to be kind of a random kind of design. And just kind of go, I like to just kind of turn the strawberries different directions and just get them all over this cardstock piece. And leave a little bit of space in between just so that you can add some of the flowers, because we're going to put some little flowers in between here. Let's see. Let's go like that. And we'll go back there. Let's add some down here. And I have something that's going to go in the middle. So I think we're just going to go with that. That's probably all the strawberries that we need. So let's add the little stems to the strawberries using some Garden Green. So that's it's a different image. So we'll just ink this up, and then we'll add this to the top. So you guys get to see me stamping my first day back. Okay, so there is our strawberries. And now we're going to use the Pool Party again, and we're just going to fill in this piece with little flowers. So I'm going to stamp off the side. Boy, I have a frog in my throat today. And we'll just fill this in. So let's see if we can squeeze one in here. We'll just add little ones all the way across the bottom. And we'll even squeeze one down on the bottom there, maybe over here. Let's see. So I'm going to take my, oh, I cut this a little big. I used the wrong one, but that's all right. We'll use this anyways. So that's basically what it's going to look like. Okay, so I think we have enough on here because that'll cover that up. So I actually cut this a little bit bigger, but that's all right. See what happens when you take some time off? All right, so what we're going to do now is flip this around. We're going to add this stamped piece here to our black cardstock. So I cut my black cardstock a little bit bigger. So the black cardstock piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And so this will mat out very nicely on here. And then we'll just add it to our white card base. And we're going to make this one, I guess, a little bit different from the other one. But at least you get the idea. So I'll bring back the other one. So with this one, I used the dies that come with this textured notes bundle. So I used these rectangular dies, but I actually used a bigger one size bigger to cut this one out than I did this one. But actually either of them will work. So you can decide which one you like best. So there, I gave you some options today. So let's just add this to our card front. But this is a really fun way to use the stamp images that came in this particular kit. So you can actually create your own designer paper. So you could use these stamp images to just go and stamp a big sheet of white cardstock and just add all those little images all over the place and then cut that up and use it to create, a variety of different card layouts. But what I did is just obviously showed you how to use it with one piece of paper. So there's lots of different things that you can do with the stamp set. I really like it when they give us more than just greetings in our paper pumpkin kit. So, all right. So these are the 3 cards. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. These are the 3 cards. Where'd the other one go? Here it is. That I just walked you through. But I have some other card ideas that I'll share with you. Let's move these off to the side so you can see these a little bit better. You already saw those. So these are some of the other designs that I created. Like I said, I just used that strawberry card base to create, a little, I used it as designer paper to create like a little background for this card. So there's one. And then I used up some scraps. So this was a card base. This is a card base. I just used up some scrap papers and some of the different things from the kit just to create that particular card. And then here's another one where you just create a piece of designer paper that just goes right down the center of the card. I think this is 2.5. Let's see. Yeah. So the strawberry piece is just 2.5 inches wide. It goes the full length of the card. And I had extra of these little vellum pieces. So I just used it behind there. And of course, I added my own circle shape. And then here's another little white on white. I just like that kind of clean and simple look. So that's what this is. I know I like these strawberries. I'm getting dark here. Why is this dark? Why am I dark? I hope it's not dark for you guys. There we go. All right, so there's those. And then these cards are very similar to the kit cards. The only difference is that I just cut down the card front a little bit and I adhered it to, either a piece of garden green or a piece of pool party. So it's basically the same design, but I have a little bit of that pool party showing through here, and I have a little bit of the garden green showing through here. So I'll show you what the original looks like as soon as I find it. Maybe I don't have it. Oh, here. So this is what this is what the kit design looks like, and then this is how I modified it. I just adhered it to a garden green card base because I thought it looked nice to draw out that green. So, and then here is another card idea, just featuring ways to use up some of the scrap pieces that I had. So I just made it very simple. So those are the alternate designs that I have for you, along with the other ones that I showed you how to create. But I will get these all up on the blog for you probably later today so that you can have all the measurements. I'll get you all the measurements for how to create these alternate designs. And then you can use these different layouts either with your kit or with whatever supplies you have on hand. So I had a lot of fun with this kit. It was really super cute. But again, I like the strawberries, so so I'm partial to strawberries, I guess. All right, so I hope that these card ideas inspired you, gave you just a different way to look at your kit. Certainly, you can create your cards exactly as the kit intends you to create them. Or if you want to stretch your supplies and create some alternate designs, it's a great way to get more cards. So the kit gives you 8 cards, and I have quite a few here. And I still have lots of supplies. So what do I have? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have about 18 cards that I created so far, and I still have a lot of supplies left. So I'll use the rest of those up with some of these alternate designs. So, All right, you guys. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed these card ideas, and I hope it inspires you to get creative with your kit today or just get creative in general. And I will be back next week with some more fun card ideas. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and a great week. So thanks so much for joining me today.